A lot of beginner animators think a run cycle is just a faster walk cycle. But that's exactly why so many run cycles look wrong. Because running cycles follow a completely different set of rules. So, in this video, I'm going to show you why your running animation looks like fast walking, and the run cycle rules that fix it. Run cycle rule number 1, flight phase. You see, the biggest difference between a walk cycle and a run cycle is that in a walk cycle, at least one foot is usually touching the ground. But in a run cycle, there is moments where both feet leave the ground. That's called the flight phase. And it's one of the biggest reasons beginner run cycles look fast walk cycles. Because a lot of beginners speed up their walk cycle animations and then call it a run. But if both feet never leave the ground, it still feels like walking, just faster. Because a run cycle needs a moment where both feet leave the ground, both feet off the floor, even if it's only for a short moment. That small detail instantly tells the viewer, this character is running, not walking. And once you add a proper flight phase, your run cycles immediately start feeling like more natural and more believable. Run cycle rule number 2, bigger stride. Another common mistake is making the run cycle too small. The legs move faster, but they don't move farther. When people run, they take larger steps. The front leg reaches farther forward. The back leg extends farther behind. The entire pose literally becomes more dramatic, more powerful, and more energetic. But if the stride is too small, the character looks like they're running in a place, or speed walking. So, don't be afraid to stretch the pose a little more than you would in a walk cycle. Not so much that it looks broken, just enough so it feels faster and stronger. And once the stride gets bigger, the run cycle starts feeling like it has momentum instead of just speed. Run cycle rule number 3, impact and push off. A run cycle needs impact. When the foot hits the ground, the character should absorb the impact. If nothing changes though when the foot hits the ground, the run starts feeling weightless. You see, the body should dip slightly from the force of the landing. Then the leg pushes off and sends the body into the next step. Landing, push off. Landing, push off. That's what gives the run its power. If you skip the landing, the run feels floaty. If you skip the push off, the run feels weak. And once you combine both, your run cycles start feeling like much more powerful. Run cycle rule number 4, body lean. When people run, they usually lean slightly more forward than in a walk cycle. Not falling over, not bending in half, just enough to show momentum. A beginner mistake is keeping the body perfectly upright. That often makes a run cycle look stiff. The faster the run cycle, the more noticeable the lean can be. A jog uses less lean. A sprint uses more lean. The lean should match the speed. And when it does, the run immediately feels more energetic and more natural. Final run cycle rule number 5, arms in a run. The arms in a run cycle help the run feel complete. You see, a common beginner mistake is focusing on the legs and forgetting the arms. When running, the arms should swing opposite of the legs to balance. If the left leg goes forward, the right arm goes forward, vice versa. But also, in a run cycle, the arms tend to use stronger arm swings than run cycles. If the arms don't swing enough, the run can feel weightless. If they move too much though, it can feel exaggerated. So, match the arm movement to the type of run you're animating. Here are some examples. A relaxed jog could use smaller arm swings. A sprint uses stronger arm swings. A tired run might need heavier arm swings. So, once the arms and legs start working together, the run begins feeling faster, stronger, and much more convincing. But even when you understand run cycles, you're really just scratching the surface of animation. And as you start learning more advanced animation, the process can take a huge amount of time. So, that's one of the reasons I started building an app called Diamond Animator. It's an AI-powered animation tool I'm building that's designed to help animators work faster, whether they're creating stick figures, drawings, or full animation projects. But I'm still building my app though. But my goal is to have the first beta users trying out that system as early as fall 2026. So, if you want more animation videos, tutorials, Diamond Animator updates, and a chance to become one of the first beta users, make sure you subscribe and stay notified.